A woman steps out of a limo. She calls herself Queen. Using her power, she summons everyone in the city who carries that gene, drawing them toward her without resistance. Meanwhile, Peter Parker is at home with Mary Jane, finally getting a quiet moment together. She asks him to stay and watch her favorite show, and he agrees to one episode before heading out. But suddenly something feels off. Peter starts bleeding from his nose and ears as his spider sense goes completely out of control. The sensation overwhelms him, and he collapses. Mary Jane rushes in, trying to understand what's happening as Peter struggles to explain. At the same time, Captain America is approached by Nick Fury, who asks for his help as the situation begins escalating across the city. On the streets, Queen walks forward with her followers. A taxi driver honks and shouts at her to move aside. In response, she lifts the taxi into the air using her power. The driver falls out as the vehicle is thrown into a nearby building, crashing on impact. She continues walking as if nothing happened. Soon after, two police officers attempt to stop her. One tells her to stay where she is. Queen gives a simple command. The second officer immediately turns and attacks the first. Her followers then clear out a building, removing anyone not under her influence. She makes her way to the rooftop, where she and her controlled followers position themselves as if waiting. Spider-Man and Captain America both arrive at the scene, while riot police try to manage the growing crowd below. Captain America tells Spider-Man to wait, but Spider-Man ignores the order and climbs up the building. At the rooftop, Queen is seated on a throne carried by her controlled followers. A police helicopter approaches and asks for her demands. She responds with a single word. The helicopter's blades collapse, sending it crashing into the building. Spider-Man reaches the rooftop, where Queen approaches him, calmly observing him. He tries to web her, but his own arm suddenly moves against his will, preventing him from attacking. She follows with a powerful strike to his leg. Standing over him, she warns him not to try that again. Spider-Man pushes forward and attacks, managing to trip her and attempt to restrain her. She quickly breaks free and strikes him across the face. He dodges her next attacks and creates distance, trying to keep the situation under control. Without warning, Queen unleashes a sonic scream that drops him to the ground in pain. She follows by slamming him into a wall. Her followers grab Spider-Man, holding him in place. She steps closer, studying him, calling him a survivor like herself, and begins pulling his mask up. Captain America arrives and tries to intervene, but is overwhelmed by the controlled crowd. Queen uses his own shield against him, striking him and knocking him unconscious. Spider-Man, still struggling, challenges her to fight him without help. She accepts. Her followers release him, leaving the two of them to face each other. Queen unleashes another scream at close range. Spider-Man collapses again, unable to fight back, and eventually loses consciousness. As he falls, she catches him and holds him steady, telling him that he was never meant to win against her. With him unable to resist, she pulls him closer and forces a kiss, attempting to take control over him. Later, Spider-Man wakes up inside the building, trapped in webbing against a wall. Queen visits him again, this time calmer in her approach. She tells him she has no interest in his identity and reveals her name, Adriana. She moves closer and pulls his mask up slightly. Peter asks her to give him space, but she ignores him and tells him to relax. She kisses him again, trying to control him. This time, Spider-Man feels the connection. For a moment, he begins to lose himself and responds to her, but he regains control and forces her away. This angers her. She grabs him, furious that he resisted, and strikes him before telling him that he will eventually give in. She leaves him there, injured and alone. The earlier kiss is revealed to have been broadcast across the city. People react in different ways. Some are confused, others misinterpret the moment entirely, believing Spider-Man initiated it. At a grocery store, Aunt May casually mentions it to Mary Jane, only realizing too late that Mary Jane hadn't seen it yet. Outside, Nick Fury is informed that the situation is under control. However, Captain America is actually being held captive, suspended and restrained. Queen visits him and mocks him, saying he has already been replaced, and that once Spider-Man submits to her, her plan will be complete. Captain America breaks free, retrieves his shield, and frees Spider-Man. Queen immediately orders her followers to attack. As the fight continues, Captain America reveals he once knew someone like her in the past. Spider-Man spots Queen trying to escape and chases her, ignoring Captain America's instructions. He corners her on a balcony, but she orders several of her followers to jump, forcing him to hesitate. She takes advantage of that moment, using her mental power to bring him to his knees before knocking him unconscious. She moves closer again, but before she can act, S.H.I.E.L.D. launches a missile. Queen redirects it, protecting both herself and Spider-Man from the explosion. During that moment, Captain America attacks and knocks her off the building. Afterward, he confronts Spider-Man for acting recklessly. Spider-Man doesn't argue and leaves the scene,